Seattle voters tackle the housing affordability crisis by making housing more unaffordable. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. Seattle voters again raised the cost of housing in order to lower housing costs. Now, if that sounds contradictory, you must be new to this city. You see, here a liberal ethos prevails, with a penchant for endorsing any proposal cloaked in the mantle of progressivism. Consider Measure 1 as a case in point. This was a colossal housing levy nearing $1 billion, and it's earmarked for the construction of affordable housing. This doesn't simply extend a pre-existing tax levy from 2016 that just expired. It amplified the tax rate from 14 cents to 45 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value. Predictably, the proposition passed this week. While it helps build affordable housing, it also increases the cost of housing. Homeowners will see their property tax bills surge by roughly $400 a year. Tenants won't be spared either, as these tax hikes are passed along via increased rents. As I write about extensively in my new book, What's Killing America? Inside the Radical Left's Tragic Destruction of Our Cities, which, by the way, is now on sale, the progressive conviction is that housing is an inalienable human right. They use that belief to justify heavy-handed government interference in the housing market. Despite the clear evidence that increased regulations and taxes have propelled the cost of living to exorbitant heights, the radical left remains steadfast in their dogma, conveniently sidestepping the fact that the affluent are already contributing more than their quote-unquote fair share. Landlords, often misconceived as affluent, they're merely striving to earn a respectable living while providing affordable housing. And yet they find themselves beleaguered by a system that disproportionately favors tenants, especially those who are problematic. It can take a year and tens of thousands of dollars to evict problem tenants. And it's precisely why so many landlords are leaving the market. Democrats think they can just pour tax dollars into affordable housing, but there is also a problem with relying on the wealthy to pay their fair share, whatever, by the way, that even means. They leave. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos announced this month that he's leaving the Seattle area for Miami so he can be closer to his parents and partner. It's hard to ignore the striking difference between Washington and Florida. You see, Washington Democrats passed a capital gains tax. Before the tax went into effect, what did Jeff Bezos do? He sold more than 1.3 million Amazon shares, saving himself about $1.1 billion in taxes. Now, he won't have to worry about this in Florida. Meanwhile, you've got Seattle wanting to implement an additional capital gains tax, and Democrats in the legislature, they're eyeing a wealth tax. Democrats believe the homelessness crisis that we're dealing with is due to the high costs of homes. But they also believe housing developers and landlords are wealthy, privileged, and greedy. This perspective has led to punitive regulations and a reliance on government agencies to manage housing the right way. And yet there's scant evidence to suggest that these measures are making the housing market more accessible. Quite the contrary, the situation continues to deteriorate. Maybe if they stopped helping so much, let the market operate with fewer impediments, we'd actually have housing for everyone. And Seattle voters are the ones who keep getting in the way of progress. Jason Rantz here with Greg Nunn, your local tax expert and advocate. Greg, thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, Jason, great to be with you again and talk about these tax issues.
Okay, so why should anyone in trouble with the IRS contact you immediately?
The sooner the better, because it's so much easier to deal with an IRS situation at the beginning than when you're getting toward the end and they're getting very aggressive. And at the same time, it takes that pressure off of you sooner and gives you that peace of mind that, hey, no more fear of going to the mailbox because I'm here helping you.
So by connecting with you, can you assure people that they won't have the IRS on their doorstep or calling them nonstop?
When you have representation, you definitely do not want to talk to the IRS ever, and you don't have to. You are protected by statute, by law, that when you have representation, they have to deal with your representative. And I am acting in your best interest when I'm dealing with the IRS, and I tell you, you don't want to talk to them, it'll just stress you out.
Greg, thank you so much. That was really, really helpful.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and I just really hope that what I've said helps some people that are in tax difficulty.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Greg might be able to negotiate a settlement for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest. Call Greg Nunn today. Did you like this video? We have a whole lot more over at ktth.com.